with that.
Yeah, well, it was that was the first night. So like
you were crapping your pants though.
Alrighty, well, I guess you can say this is an unofficial podcast kind of a deal. It's not really going to be all set up with mics and all fancy equipment, but Ben and I were just going to go ahead and totally nonchalant tell our story, tell our experiences up in the great wilderness of Quebec, Canada, Montreal, Quebec, Canada more in particular. Also the experiences we had in general bear hunting industry. So Ben's going to be talking about hunt stories. I'm going to be telling some hunting stories. And if you guys do like this little podcast, put your headphones in if you're driving more long distance or whatever. If you want to even in a room, on your bed, going about ready to go to sleep, put the headphones in, listen along. Hopefully you guys can learn something from the Antlered Pursuit TV. So stay tuned and enjoy. Hopefully it's semi-entertaining for you.
So about 5 years ago, we were working. I was out working on a job, and this little kid comes up to me.
It was 5 years ago?
It was.
No, it was. Well, I worked the company. It was like 3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah,
hey, excuse my camo Crocs, by the way. My brother's he's got some pretty awesome Crocs, and I could not resist putting them suckers on.
It was like 3 years ago. We were working on a job, and this wide started working with me, and I was like, we were about on the back sheeting a roof, and I was like, hey, you want to go bear hunting? He's like, I don't know, what's bear hunting?
I knew about it, but I'm never really a bear hunter.
Told me you'll go bear hunting, you'll never stop going bear hunting. And we went up. That was that in the fall. The next spring we went up.
Dude, that was in the fall. Well, I started in January. That was actually, I think that was July or August, because you just got back from your bear and you couldn't. The bear experience, we shot the I think it was like the 350 pounder. You got back and you could not stop talking about it because you had so much of a blast. Actually, no, that was you didn't get anything. You passed on all the bear. You saw tons of bear, but you passed them all up because you wanted to shoot a monster.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
that was the year after my wife shot hers.
Yeah,
I passed on probably 12 or 15.
Yeah, that's crazy. You see so many bears up there.
Yeah. And so we went up there, and that was a fun trip.
The first trip we went up there. Yeah, dude, that was what. I remember going up there in the middle, we went on Ben and I work 12-hour days on our job, 5 days a week, 12-hour days pretty much. Get up at 4:30. Essentially, Ben, we were talking all through work, man. We were like, dude, I'm so jacked. This is the longest day of work ever. Because we were stoked for something, dude. It's like...
Yeah, you weren't even working with me that day.
No, but we were on our phones talking to each other, because we couldn't stop shutting up. I remember, actually, we did go to work with each other a week prior than we left the trip, and we were telling everybody, hey, we aren't going to be around here. We're going to be up shooting bears, so don't be jealous. We were just stoked, man, because Ben, he's a phenomenal bear hunter, and I also love bear hunting, and we couldn't wait to go ahead and do it together. So
yeah, and hopefully we can do it again sometime together. That would be fun. Yeah, man.
So let's, as far as so what? As you guys know, I'm not super old. I'm 21 years of age, so you can't really necessarily.
And he's single.
That is a fact. So if any of you ladies are out there, or hit me up on IG, DM me so I can DM you back, and I can officially say. No, I'm just kidding. But as far as taking a hunt like that, I know they're very expensive depending on where you're going. They're expensive depending on who you have. But I'll say this. If you at all have an opportunity with a friend or with a buddy to go ahead and do something together, you can't remake those experiences anywhere else other than the things that you love. That's the only way you can create experiences like that. And honestly, doing this with Ben is that
was one of my dream things, is to get a buddy and go do something and
so
time.
we've been best pals ever since we won that bear. it's funny because Ben and I, we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other that well, and I guess
never actually. I mean, we talked, but not a lot. Never hung out really till a week we went bear hunting. Man, you learn somebody really quick when you're stuck with them for a week.
Yeah, especially in the well, it's funny because on our trip all the way up there. So back to our driving or stuff like that. We went from getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work and being done around 5:30, more or less.
And you met me at 6.
Met you at 6 or something. I run home, grabbed my stuff, came back. Yes.
So I figured out one way to make the hunt a little easier as far as money wise. If you know in like 2 years or something, plan the hunt 2 years out, you can get put $100 or $200 a month into just an envelope, and before you know it, you got enough money to saved up to go on a hunt, and that always seemed a lot better than
having all
paying
once.
the $2,000 all out of the pocket at one time.
Yeah.
It's not quite as big a deal.
And I think the only real reason I was able to do this hunt is because of the jobs we were having, were pretty good jobs.
Yeah.
But for people that don't really have a lot of money, I think even going on it's so hard because my family never had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
We never had a lot of opportunities to do things like this, so we had to work our way to get to the places and do the things we want to do. So I took that hunt as in like the coolest thing I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
We met people up there that were like, this is like their 10th time up. They've been doing this. They went on going 6 hunts a year. And we talked to we met some serious, I'm going to be straight up with you, really wealthy dudes, like extremely wealthy dudes, millionaires, people that didn't really have to work. They just worked, they just screwed around the rest of their life, and they just like totally nonchalant, kind of just relaxed and talking about going up to bear camp, like this is what they're going to do every year for the rest of their life. And I'm just out here just like, man, this is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Working hard to get up there.
Working hard to get up there. So bear in mind that, like, I worked so hard for this trip. And, first trip like this for me. So I wanted to take it take it all in, I guess you could say. I've never done anything like this, so
and that thing, I get my money's worth out of every trip I go up. Man, it's a blast up there.
Yeah.
And
but
you can do a lot of fishing up there too if you like to fish. It really messes with you when you when you go bear hunt. You start at 4 o'clock and then you get back at 2:30 or 3 o'clock depending on the morning. And your best fishing's right at daylight, so daylight starts about 4 o'clock, so you can pretty much, if you want, you can hunt and fish the whole time you're up there without any sleep.
You pretty much could.
Good.
Well, I remember that brings me up to this next point. You said without sleep. You find your way to go to that. You find your way to take a sleep because the rides out there to your spot are outrageous. Okay, so this is how secluded, Ben, go talk about how secluded these places actually were, these individual one-way rides that we had to take to get our hunt spots.
So the one where we sat the first night, or the first couple of nights, it was to get back to our place. We had to drive it was about an hour around because there was a bridge out, and we went around around town and came
first hunting spot, right? First day or two, right? Yeah, first 2 days.
And we drove down a gravel road for about 45 minutes probably, and then we turned off of that in the little 2-track path, and man, we took that thing way back. Dude, I think it was about 15 miles to the back of it. And
dude, I don't know, it's freaking crazy. Oh my goodness. But
no, I seen a bear the first night there, and then after that I didn't see any till Tuesday or till Wednesday, and he moved me and Wyatt over to another road. I hunted back that road quite a bit. It's a good spot. And the first night we were going back there, we had a 15-passenger van.
Dude, bear in mind that, guys. So we're on a van, okay? We have this is how they have to drop off people, just to give you guys a little background. So imagine a road that goes straight, lots of totally like rugged. I mean, this is like four-wheeler country. Four-wheeler. It's like a van should not be back there, and the only reason why they're taking a van back there is because they have so many people to take hunting that they don't really have a lot of vehicles, but they have to choose a right situation. Right. Anyway, so they chose a van. You know, it had. Well, we're gonna get to that, but
yeah, we were cruising back that road.
It's straight. It's a straight shot, and you drop off all your people before you get to the end, right?
This guy's no slacker in driving. We
Oh
were
my goodness!
driving back this road, and all of a sudden, I don't know what, we went across the rock down into a pothole, and something snapped under the van. And
this was like the fourth day out, right?
Yeah.
So
and
we
were pretty late in getting back there too. It was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so like I guess we were screwing around. Bear in mind this though, our guide knows the bears so well that he was. I mean, we only had like an hour and a half to hunt,
Mm-hmm.
but the guy's like, oh, we'll leave at like 4, get to hunting spot around 6, and then hunt from 6 to 9. I'm like, we only have 3 hours to hunt, so pretty much our guide's like, yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
So you know, bear in mind that you're paying money going to hunt, but when your guide knows what he's talking about, he knows what he's talking about. So we were out.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, dude, he's ridiculously smart.
And our van broke down, and so it was me and you and Phil. Phil was with us.
Phil, me, you, Phil, and then Jack.
Yeah.
Jack. He's our outfitter. But it was fun because, bear in mind, guys, we broke down in the middle of nowhere. I mean, these rides at that time, one of these rides was about 2 hours from the cabin to dropping off the first guy. The first, I mean, like literally, it's miles, like 100 miles back in the middle of nowhere, and all this country is just the same thing. Nobody knows we're back there. Okay, we're on some serious road. I mean, imagine you going down bumps and getting air on a 15 passenger van. That's freaky, but that's what we did. That's what we got.
That was a rough night.
That was a rough night. And Phil, you and I were like the only ones at this time period that didn't really have a bear. I mean, a couple people didn't have a bear, but so many people passed up the bears, and we barely even saw anything.
Yeah, us three that didn't see much, and then he took us back there. Then the van broke, and then we had to jack the thing up, use some rocks, and use a little jack in the back.
We jacked it up with the rocks.
And then
I remember that.
Then we found he had a screwdriver. He had a screwdriver, a pin sheared or something. We stuck a screwdriver on it, and that's how he got us back to the baits and back out. And
we would have been screwed.
Back to town.
So, but that was the day some miracle happened for you. That was the day you shot that. That was like 200 something pounder with the long recurve at like 7 yards away. Actually, I say this in a lot of my videos, but you know. Most of the time, I replay experiences that I've had. So if you do want to hear experiences like this and revisit some of these things, I always have these experiences that I replay in the description. So if you guys want to check them out, it's always going to be down there for you guys to listen to and watch, so you guys get the hands-on experience that we did. Really, sort of in the form of how we felt and what we're talking about. You guys have a better understanding. So you'll see Ben's footage over there. So feel free to go ahead and check that out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a night to remember there. And then, well, you went back to your spot and then you heard that.
Yeah, well, it was that was the first night. So like
you were crapping your pants though.
So Ben says I was crapping my pants. I don't remember that, but it might have been you getting such an adrenaline rush from.
I remember me and Danny came back during the.
So let's give him a little backstory. So Ben's at one of his spots, and I'm one of my spots.
We're about a mile and a half.
Yeah, we can't hear each other shoot if we were using guns, but we can definitely. So if someone got attacked by a bear, there's really no way of getting to them until everyone's picked up at the end of the hunt. So I'm by myself. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'm pretty much hunting in my stand, and before Ben even gets to me, I have bears coming around me and going. I mean, when a bear does that to you, you have no idea what it means.
If that's your first time or first
Bear
time
hunting,
a bear
and you're by yourself. I mean, I was 20 years old.
Pretty creepy.
It's creepy. I mean, you don't know where these things are coming from. You don't know how big it is, and if it's a mom and sow, the bears know you're there. That's the funny part. The bears know you're there.
Yeah,
It's whether or not they choose to come in or not. But this bear clearly knew I was there. He could smell me, see me, or do whatever. I don't know. But she was trying to scare the living daylights out of me, and I was like, I wasn't having it. I didn't know what was going on, and I was trying to act as, I guess, as a tough dude, and I thought I was a tough dude, but I come down here at the end of my hunt, Ben and Danny come pick me up.
Yeah,
Ben, you go ahead and share me.
Come back there with the four-wheeler and turn the four-wheeler off, and Wyatt's yelling, "Hey, stay back! There's a bear down there! Stay back!"
Yeah.
And
Dan jumps off the four-wheeler, comes running to me like, dude, what are you doing?
Danny's not scared of anything.
No, dude, he's been in some serious tight holes already with bears, man. I can't tell you how many weird experiences he's had. He's been lost in those woods like for a night or two. He's had a bear go chomp his teeth at him, or which means that's like a.
I heard that a lot.
Yeah,
yeah. They do that when they come into the bait. A boar will do that. They'll chomp their teeth, and then the one at the bait will chomp their teeth, and then the bear that's circling around, he can tell what size the one is.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
The bait.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a little. I guess I was nervous, but I didn't really know what was. I was excited, but I was like, I didn't really know how to contain my stuff. Slight fear, slight excitement, because I didn't know what to expect. But that was just that was my first ever really bear experience out there. And bear in mind, guys, this is the 4th day up there. We have about six days to hunt, and I was up there for 4 days already. And that was the first day I actually had to sign a bear.
You were the only one that did.
Only one, and Ben can vouch for me. Like, I'm not the type of hunter. All the other hunters are there. They talk about, and they're moving around, okay? And I just can't figure it out. I don't know if I keep my body. I shower more often, because I do. I showered every night, which typically, if you have more of a fresher smell, some of those guys were smoking, so that sort of. And if the bears are used to smoke smell, cigarette smell, they which they were, because some of the guys up there were smoking, and that's how they become related to those baits, and those bears were sort of used to that.
You just never know. Sometimes a bear will check its bait like every 3 days.
Yeah.
And so when we switch bait spots, it might have been that night. Might have been this 3rd night that he would have came through and found you.
You just never know, I guess.
You just don't know.
It was and then come back and grab Ben's bear, and he's all jacked up. He's like, I got one. We of course go ahead and get his bear and stuff.
Yeah, after I shot mine, there was one there. Team who was around the bait barrel. He wasn't real far from me. There's kind of a little creek there. And he was on the other side. And he was chomping his teeth, and I'm on the ground. It's dark, and Danny came up and picked me up on the four-wheeler, and he's like, I'm gonna run and get White. You can stay here. I said, no. I said, I'm gonna go with you. He's like, oh, okay. Then we were on the way back there, and I said, man, there's some bears chomping their teeth. I wondered why you didn't stay there.
Dude, so essentially Ben's on the ground, like 7 yards from the bait barrel, and that bear, I remember you telling me that bear walked right by. And you were shitting yourself.
His nose was just like
you were
a couple feet from me, and he was just smelling me.
He was staring right at Ben, just sniffing him up. And Ben just starts to like totally chillax, relax. And just hope the bear didn't come after him.
That's like taking bear hunting to a new level, though, when you sit on the ground right eye to eye with them.
Oh my word, that's something I have to. And we'll tell you guys.
Experience that sometime.
Yeah, we'll tell you guys some different stories of some other things we've heard about already. But bear hunting is serious. I mean, like, just to give you guys an estimate on the idea of the population of bear out there, like we're dealing with like.
That's the highest population in Canada is right there.
If not the world, but the less it doesn't have monsters.
Yeah.
The
They don't have monsters,
average
but they have a
monster
lot of
size
bears.
isn't that high.
Like that 350 plus pounder
It's a good big bear there.
That's a big bear for there.
Yeah.
A lot of your bears you shoot. A lot of guys, first timers go up, they'll shoot like a 175.
Yeah, which mine was
200.
honestly. I'm gonna be realistic with you guys. It was a 100 pounder. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate, but that's just
That's hunting.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was, it was 5 years ago probably when I was up. There was a guy up there that went out hunting, and he started out with a bow. He was going to shoot one with a bow, and then later in the week he was the only guy that didn't have one, and he decided to use my shotgun. So he took my shotgun out, and he took my shotgun out, and then while he was sitting out there, this one came in and right at the last light, and he shot the thing, and he was excited. And when we went out to trail the thing, we walked up to the thing, and it was about a 40-pound cub. Man,
What?
He was all hyped up.
Hey, I mean, if people are excited, that's the thing. Like,
That's the thing.
you can't
The
take
guy
that from
don't-
someone.
Yeah, that's what I like about this guy. He doesn't care what you shoot. He don't want you to shoot to like the little 20, 30-pound cubs, but he could care less. He just wants you to have fun and shoot a bear. It was funny.
That was so awesome.
Then we shot it, and then we took the thing back to take it back, and we showed our pictures to Danny.
Well, first we had to set up on the rock and set up a whole situation of, we wanted to make a bear sound a little bigger,
Yeah.
than it was.
We sat up on, put the bear up on a rock, and then he stood like 5 feet behind us.
At least, maybe at 20 feet back.
Yeah.
It was-
We got some good pictures, and then we showed the one guide, and he couldn't believe it. Then we told him it's in the back of the truck, and then he about had a cow in his.
He's like, big boo boo, big boo boo. I'm like, oh, that's a big one. Which boo boo, and I guess in Canada, it means, big bear, And he's like, big one, big one. I'm like, yeah, it's the back of the truck. And he's totally freaking out. Like, and he goes back there. He's like, oh, it's not the same bear. What the heck? From the picture, it was just absolutely hysterical. Dude, I could just go on and on about talking about different cool stuff, I guess. But
But that was really cool.
yeah, man.
And then we went out. That was on Thursday night, because I shot mine on Monday.
Thursday, and we left Saturday. We spent Friday fishing.
Oh yeah, we fished on Friday,
We fished on Friday.
and then we left.
Left
We
Saturday.
left Friday night, didn't we?
We might have left Friday night, actually.
I think we did.
But up there, night gets around like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It starts getting nice. I think we left at like 6 or 5.
Yeah.
We
were home. We were home at like 11 on the 11 the next day.
yeah, I think that might have been what it was. Which we drove through most of the night where we were. Which there's something about driving through the night in the wilderness. It's just an absolute
Mm-hmm.
flicker through your tail. I mean, that was dude, it's crazy.
Driving up that one long
Oh, my
stretch of
word.
road.
Jeez.
But,
I mean, nobody's on those roads, man. That's the crazy part about the whole that situation.
we
Like,
drove for like 4 hours on one road, and 3 hours, and never saw any vehicles on the way up.
it's so funny because like the road to go up there from Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is like you don't take many roads, but as soon as you hit Canada, you're like 100 yards, take a slight right turn to on this road, and you go up there, and the turn's like 5 feet. It's just like a slant. You're going a little tiny little bend in the road, and they're like, take another 50 miles on this road, and then turn right, and it's not even a right. So you're pretty much going 400 miles straight. It's it's like out west.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I remember we turned onto the 117. I think that's what it's called. And you said you're going to drive till the end. It said like 195 miles, and I was going to catch a little snooze. 195 miles comes up, and I wake up, and there's a little bend in the road, and it says like another 100 miles. And I guess I can drive to here, yeah. Then we go to there, and then just a little curve in the road, and another 100 miles.
Well, you used to get you're like, oh man, when's the next break? Because there's no really anywhere to stop. I mean, there's gas stations out in the middle of nowhere, but like
there, actually on that whole road, there's like a couple 200 miles.
Yeah.
That's a stretch of like no gas stations.
I mean, we had gas tanks in the back of the truck. I think it was
Yeah,
to
we did.
just in case, but
That was good stuff.
yeah, man.
But, yep.
So if you guys or I guess, man, we could talk about bear camp forever.
Yeah, that's my favorite hunting is going bear hunting.
Yeah, it's just think of it this way. Think of like complete silence in Pennsylvania. You can't really find complete silence unless you're in northern Pennsylvania or western Pennsylvania. But we have so many people, so many cars, so many cities, so many farm equipment running around this whole time. It's like every mile. I mean, the longest road in Pennsylvania is like a mile without turning. It feels like.
Yeah.
But and with all that people, you can't really find the complete silence unless you're in totally secluded areas. And up in Canada, imagine you by yourself. You hear every bug that ever existed. You hear rabbits jumping. That's pretty crazy.
You hear mosquitoes that's like the farm machinery around here.
Oh yeah, mosquitoes. Oh dude, it's like gee whiz. But yeah, that's those are the kind of stuff that it's just a neat experience. So like, people always say, I dream of going deer hunting, bear hunting, going on a trip. I mean, guys, save your money, man. It's like, I would say Ben and I totally spent between combined fees. I mean, we'll say individually. Individually, this is an overstatement, but let's say our bear tag was $2,600, 25. Let's just say that $2,500, which some places is cheaper, some places more. You know what I mean?
That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable for the quality and the hospitality and stuff that he is. So
like we split food between everybody, and it was like $40 a person.
$40, yeah. And you get showers, you get individual beds, you got food, you got a boat to fish on the lake with, but all your gas is taken. So we probably spent, let's say I'm gonna say 4,000 because I have all my gear and stuff. I had to get my bow set up, all my gear, all the gas. It probably was like $1,000 worth of gas. I don't know.
I think it was like $300 a person on gas.
Okay, so then that's $600.
Yeah, I think I was just under, or right around 3,000 for everything.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. I had all my gear on.
Yeah, which I was close to 4,000. So that's a lot of money. But again, start saving. Put $100 away, $200 away, and in a year you already have. I mean, let's say you make $500 a week. Put $50 of that away. If you're a youngster like me.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't take much at all. And like work some extra hours, dude. You got that sucker saved up by the end of the year for a hunt.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, for every one of those days that you thought of going on a bear hunt is spending $3,000-$4,000 worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
The memories. Bring a camera along. I mean, I don't have a fancy camera, but like bring that sucker along. Bring a friend along, and just have a good time.
Yeah. Looks like I spent a lot of money on hunting, but I wouldn't take a dime of it back for any of this.
Yeah.
And there's no way I would.
No way. So, and I recommend you guys doing, or I guess really doing that same thing with hunting. If you love it so much, invest not necessarily every expense you have, but invest your life into your things you love, and that's what my channel's about. By the way, it's called Antlered Pursuit for a reason. I don't necessarily love just whitetails. I love all species of hunting. I grew up whitetail hunting, so that's where it all started. I love fishing. I incorporate hunting into fishing. I have some cool little things like that, but I also love bear hunting. Telling deer stories, bear stories, hunt stories, and I want to be able to create that memory and share the passion I have for something like this with you guys and with everyone that's around me. So if you want to enjoy the same experience as we did, the outfitter's called Tippmann
Tippman Outfitters.
Tippman Outfitters. Jack Tippman is the guy that runs it.
Yeah.
But he's up in Millard, Quebec. From Pennsylvania, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, if you want to plot this in, if you're from New Jersey, whatever. It was about 13 hours because you had to go through the border.
Yeah.
We were there for about an hour.
Yeah, we had to wait a little bit in line there.
So, but
Till we got our guns.
Yeah, man, we were-
checked.
everything set up. But we were there for a week, and you know, just
He'll let you stay as long as you want to you can stay until you kill a bear if you want. He doesn't care with no extra cost. That's what I like.
yeah, just
Like
totally relaxed, dude.
mm-hmm.
Awesome situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you guys we're probably gonna close up this a little bit real quickly here. But if you guys do, as always, enjoy these little. This one's actually probably gonna be the biggest episode yet. 30 minutes. You know, not really cutting. I had to cut a couple times. We had someone come to the door and phones ring. But you know, with those things canceled out of this, you know, there's not really too many retakes or anything like this. We're totally just here and talking about what we know, what we experience, what we love, what we want to share. And if you guys enjoy this, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe. And if you wanna, if I deserve your subscription, that would be awesome. If not, Ben is over here. We both have an Instagram account. It's gonna be in the description. You can click on some URLs down there. If not, you can always it's gonna be at the bottom of the screen. Nothing too fancy, but you know, Ben has a pretty cool story. He's also gonna talk about some pretty cool stories of these animals you guys have behind. For example, the ones that are above us, you know, and stuff like that. But yep, if again, if you guys want to see some more stuff like this, I have playlists. I have all kinds of cool stuff down in the description: hunting, fishing, trapping, storytelling, and motivational speaking stuff. So. As always, find your pursuit and chase it with everything you've had, because you know you can't really take those things back once you have a memory like this. It's gonna be it's something you take in for the rest of your life, and you will be able to then transfer that over to your sons, daughters, your grandpa, family members, and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what Ben did to me, and that's what I'm gonna do to my kids, man.
Yep.
So. Not saying Ben's the biggest role model in my life, but he's definitely definitely somebody that's helped me with another part of hunting. So that's what this kid deserves your follow on Instagram. So until next time, guys, stay tuned. We're going to have some awesome stuff coming on Antlered Pursuit TV, as well as every week we have stuff coming out. So if you guys want to stay tuned to that stuff, feel free to do that, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.